Hello, Moviesflics here. Today I am going to describe a British film that is emotionally exciting, called Exam. The robbers go ahead. Be careful and take care. At the beginning of the film, 8 students were shown preparing for the employment test, with a profitable business activity. Some baptism candidates present themselves with encouraging words, while others add a few touches to their appearance before proceeding to the test hall. The place is dimly lit with the desks of every selected person kept uniform throughout the room. It also has cameras to monitor their activities. After 8 seats, a security guard with a firearm appeared to be running for office, scared. He is followed by a man who does not tell them his name and then introduces himself. "I guard." He then apologized to them for the difficulties they had encountered in getting to this room, indicating that the candidates have passed all previous recruitment procedures and are successful winners. If they pass this final test, they will be getting the jobs of their dreams. As a rule of examination, the invigilator states that there is no organizational law. We work inside the examination hall and the candidates have to follow the law-only tests. They are not allowed to contact the security guard or invigilator. Similarly, if they destroy paper intentionally or by mistake and when they leave the room for any reason, they will be rejected. The candidate will have 80 minutes to complete the test. There is only one question on the paper in front of them to answer. The guard then asks them if they have questions. When no one answers, he wishes them good luck, starts a calculator, and leaves. Candidates turn over their papers and see that there is nothing at all. They all look at each other in confusion. In time, they became disillusioned. So, nominee number 2 begins to write in his or her paper why he or she thinks he or she is qualified for the job. The camera in the room is close to his paper and the guard is told to take it out for him. He ruined his paper. The second asks for a second chance as the guard locks the doors for him. After a while, number 5 realizes that the law says they can't talk to the invigilator and security guards, which means they can talk to each other. You tell others the same thing, which makes them believe that they will have to work together to find out what the question is, before they get an answer. The group discusses a few ways they can pass the test, but they are all confused. In all of this, the candidate for the first number does not speak at all. One man tries to introduce himself, but the 5th number suggests that they give each other the names of pets to perform. They would not need to reveal their true nature. He goes on to name the candidate the first number, deaf, because he has not yet spoken. Then, the boys were called black, and white, according to their race, and the girls are named blonde, brunette, and black, according to them, hair color. After that, White proposes that they stand up from their seats because there is no such law, which means it will not take a moment to stand up. For everyone's happiness, a guard is always there, which means they can move around freely. Dark believes the questions are written down on paper with invisible ink or watermark. They all agree to test the theory but do not know how to. It is dark and he gets up and uses the lights in the room to see if there is anything written on the paper. However, nothing is visible. He still insists that everyone check theirs because the question can only be one. Everyone did as he was told, without exception, sit in his seat in peace. White takes his paper and examines it in the light. When they do not find, in any case, Black suggests that the text may be visible on UV rays or X-rays. The group then starts looking for a switchboard to see if there is an option for lighting other types of lamps. When they did not find it, they began looking for a source of such light. The deaf do not help, and they sit nervously in his chair. Blonde gets the strings of emergency lights in the room. But since there is no change, the team must break all the others' lights to create an emergency and cause lights. Brown retaliates by saying no, take such a risk. So, they voted on the issue and finally decided to continue with the program. After breaking all the light bulbs in the room, it suddenly glows blue, because of the emergency black light. Everyone starts to look for the question in the paper, except for deaf. But they are disappointed again because they cannot see the question. Brunette asks everyone to remove the first layer of the strip light because they aren't lit. This might give rise to UV rays, which can help them. They use the woman's heels to break the strips and reveal another form of light. However, they are again met with disappointment because these lights do not work either. Now the group only has 60 minutes left. A frustrated White asks everyone to think of alternatives. As they brainstorm ideas, White registers that they can do anything to number 2's paper since she is already disqualified. So, they gather around her desk and try tracing the paper with a pencil. Still, no question comes forth. White then tears her paper into sections so that they can use them to experiment with different methods. Next, he pees on one of the papers to see if it is liquid activated. However, that doesn't work either. Black and White get into a heated argument while discussing what they should do next, but they stop after hearing Def cry. He sobs silently in his seat, while the others watch him in amusement. After that, the man starts to blabber in French. He asks them if they can see something in the paper and claims that the paper reflects their image. They do not think much about his blabberings and get back into discussing ideas. Everyone falls dead silent when Brown speaks. He proposes a theory of his own claiming that they are not in an exam but are in some kind of betting show. The board members of the company have placed bets on who will crack under pressure, and the sole purpose of them being there is for their entertainment. Dark thinks that the board members probably have better things to do with their time, but according to Brown, money is the least of their concerns. With the amount of money they have in their life, the board members probably live for the risks. Now, everyone comes forward with their own ideas. Some claim that the invigilator might be behind this while others say it might be the CEO. They begin to crack under pressure and insult each other. Brunette confidently says that there are no people watching them because the CEO is hands-on in the company. He has all of the company's rights and power over everyone. It is clear that she knows more about the company than anyone else. Brown asks her how she knows so much about the CEO. It turns out that Brunette is already working for the company in HR but has never seen the CEO. She applied for a higher job and now she is here. White then reveals that he was headhunted and offered the job. But the others say that they applied for it. However, one thing they have in common is that they do not know anything about the company and what it does because they were told not to ask any questions. Brunette then explains that they are applying for a famous multi-million pharmaceutical company called Byrog. A few years ago, when a pandemic spread among young people of the world, they were the first ones to find the cure. Currently, their yearly turnover is $20 billion, all because of their CEO. Suddenly, Black suggests that the company might have found a cure to the newest deadly disease that has been killing millions of people around the world. Dark is suddenly intrigued and asks Black more about it. This makes White suspicious, so he asks Dark if she is also infected by the virus. Dark says he is not and is dismissing the matter. To turn your attention away from him, he approached the guard and took the light out of his pocket without speaking to him. Then he looked around the fire alarm. The team plans to use a lighter to trap Sprinkler because water can enhance text on paper. For this, darkness comes over the seat but does not reach the fire alarm. White helps her by giving her folded paper he lights up and uses it to activate the alarm. Suddenly, the waters began to abate, showers, but the papers remain the same. Meanwhile, the guard goes to the group. Right there, Darkness opens the paper in his hand and reveals that it is his. White had betrayed him to set him free. Competition. The guard drags Black as he calls White. After that, an angry Black says he will turn off the white lights. This causes the lights to go out again. Group statistics are activated by voice. Ask each other what they are aware of, say when the deaf begins to cry again. White cunningly sits in front of him and abuses the poor. The boy rips off his paper and eats it. The guard goes to Deaf and takes her away. Now only 5 selected left. Black despises White for being a bad person though. The white man insists he should be thankful for taking out their rivals. He also says, "You know the question," but refuse to tell others. Enraged, Black knocks on his door. "Come out with one punch." The group then tied him to a chair and covered his mouth with a tire. After a while, White wakes up. Brunette pulls out her gag and asks for her medicine, who says he is also infected. He has to take medicine every hour for his recovery. Back then he searched the pills in his pocket but could not find them. This led the group to believe that he was White. He made excuses to free her. However, White says one of them, he has taken the pill and promises to tell them the question if they return it. Suddenly, he fainted again and again began to tremble. Some believe he is a deceiver, but Bulk, he says he suffers from epilepsy because of the virus. He starts looking at the pill he was on, talking but not getting in the room. With only 15 minutes left in the timer, they check each other on a pill. Brunette accuses Brown of taking it and proves she is right when she finds it, the pill stuck to the gum under his desk. He tries to eat it White but Brown throws it at the entrance. As others try to pull it off, the depressed Brunette goes in front of the camera again, asked the police guard to rescue the man. But as he spoke to the guard, he was quick, unfit. After leaving, Blonde pulls out a pill with a pin and saves White's life. They also untied him in the middle. After he recovers, everyone asks him a question, the answer he promised. Mlofi points out that the answers were those that would be tested. See, they've been looking for a question all this time, but White thinks it's not being asked again. The last one is the answer. Everyone else believes him, but before they do, he ran to White to get a gun from the security guard. Nyamana pushed him aside and grabbed the gun himself. He points to White, who confidently tells himself he won't shoot anyone. At the same time, attacked Black and took the gun. However, when he was about to use it, he realized that he had a gun, recognition of fingerprints. So, White uses a security guard and points a gun at the others. He's scary. Everyone left the room alone so he could win a position. Brown does not retaliate, fear of being shot out deliberately. The fearsome Blonde walks slowly out but shouts, "Turn off," at the end. The room is completely black, which makes White photography in random ways. When the lights come back on, Black falls to the ground with a bullet hole in his chest. White appearance, around to see Blonde that he still has a foot inside the room. He is about to shoot her too, but he is careful that the timer has stopped. Now, White goes to the camera and tells the invigilator that he is the winner of the competition. He approached the guard and showed him the time. White, he is shocked to see that they have 20 seconds left, which means he is not fit to speak to the guard. It turned out that the deaf had changed their schedule, discussing other matters. Finally, only one person is left. He went into the room and picked up the deaf glasses known when he was released. Using those, he looks, page and see, question 1, written on it. To his surprise, Deaf enters, room that reveals you are the CEO of the company and has been on a lookout for everyone. Blonde goes to him and says, no. The CEO and the invigilator smile, realizing that he has already seen it, answer the question and pass the test. It emerged when a police officer asked them if they were there any questions at the beginning of the test, was the only question they had to answer. All of these tests were designed to test students' intelligence and attentiveness. They hired Blonde as the secretary of the CEO, but he does not accept the job because he does not want to work with it. An organization that kills people. A police guard reveals that Black is not dead again. The bullet struck is a cap that heals the wound after it enters the body. Icon, in fact a newly developed magic potion that can cure any disease in the earth. Finally, Blonde accepts the job and the film ends as he shakes the CEO's hand. Subscribe and tap the icon to get more videos like this, open a notification, and left love to help the channel. Thanks for watching. See you.